All right, Stokastic, here we go. It's your old pal EMac coming to you on a Sunday night, joined by Matt Belman as we're breaking down kind of a fun game here. For those of you playing NBA, there were shenanigans because that's what always happens on a Sunday. Zion Williamson scratched out of nowhere well before lock, but it wasn't even on the injury report. We're in midseason form already, Matt, with the resting and everything. So good times.
So annoying. It is so annoying.
How did your day go last night? Or your DFS action? Did you pull a Dougie McBuckets?
We were laughing about that yesterday. People actually gave us shit for not recommending him. Wow. He is just almost never going to be a good DFS play. My DFS night went okay. Big win for the Cavs, though. Came back. Mm-hmm. Both Giannis and Dame were awesome, and the Cavs still got that W. The Cavs are good. Like, good. So we'll see what happens, but I like the way they're playing right now. They're fun to watch, as opposed to the Browns, who are not.
Oh, yeah, the Jameis magic that may be short-lived, sort of like the Andy Dalton magic. Perhaps the Joe Flacco magic. We'll have to find out as we segue back here to Sunday Night Football. So if you've been living under a rock, you may not know that Joe Flacco has actually usurped one Anthony Richardson as the starting quarterback here for Indy, which is, I mean, I guess it's not really a surprise, but kind of a surprise. It doesn't seem like it was a great plan. The transition appears to be sort of handled because he pulled himself out of the game. I mean, that's what they're using as the catalyst there after a play, and he'd been hit a couple times on the plays before. And it's kind of funny because I'm sure the team has been telling him, when you take big hits, you get out of there, right? Don't go back and hurt yourself again. And he does that, and then he's tabbed. Doesn't care about.
Well, you can't say it's because you're tired. Like, that's
messaging.
Say anything else, and he's totally. We're not talking about it.
No, messaging is key for all of that. But so that'll be kind of interesting here. Flacco has a long history of sort of being under scrutiny himself. He had started the first half of the season in 2018 before giving way to Lamar Jackson, who was the top draft pick, or the top pick for Baltimore that year. And then that sort of kicked off the journey for Flacco. He had 3 years in New York where he made 4-1-4 starts. And then last year he was essentially out of the league. Oh, I missed he was with the Broncos, played about a half season there before he got hurt. Then went to New York. And then last year he was out of the league for all intents and purposes, and came in to your Cleveland Browns and actually rallied them into the playoffs. He lost the first game, but then rattled off 4 straight 300-yard performances, multi-touchdown games in all of them. And here we are.
The best quarterback play definitely the best quarterback play that Cleveland's seen since they moved back.
Bernie Kosar? Oh, wait, Bernie Kosar.
Since Bernie. Yeah, but
Bernie.
That stretch from Flacco.
Brian Sipe? Do I got to keep going back?
Yeah.
That was before your time.
I think Bernie is the guy. But they were never bringing Flacco back with Watson looming. With any thought that Watson could be good, they weren't bringing Flacco back because of the fragileness of Watson's ego, I guess is one way to put it. And it's a shame, man. I know he's old and he's not going to do this forever, but clearly he's still good enough to play. I mean, he's a big upgrade from Richardson for a DFS perspective for all of his receivers.
So through 10 starts, Anthony Richardson has 10 passing touchdowns. Now he's got several more on the ground through two games and change. It's about 3/4 of a game when he replaced Richardson when he got hurt. Flacco already has 7. So entirely different strategy of offensive strategy here. Flacco, every receiver essentially has had their best game with Flacco as the quarterback this year. He's played in 3 games. He got in for the 1 or 2 plays in the last game, as we kind of mentioned. He replaced Richardson there. So the key thing, and I got this from ESPN, so I want to give them credit. But I put this into my article free on the homepage here. I spent about 3 hours writing these for each one of the NFL primetime games here. But Minnesota has they've allowed the third most passing yards per game this season with 263, but they blitz 42% or 43% of the time. So that, which is just wild. They don't really have the sacks to show for it. I think they have around 20 sacks or so. But in a crazy moment here, Flacco has the best yards per completion of 14.8, and he has the lowest sack rate at 5.1, and the best touchdown rate at 13.3% when the opposing team is blitzing. Those three metrics are all the best in the league since the start of his magical run there with Cleveland. But that's kind of interesting because this does a couple things here. One, he's good against the blitz, but he may not have time to throw deep. And Flacco still has a decent deep ball, which, what do we do now with Antonio Pierce or some of these other players here, Matt? This makes for an interesting decision point. But overall, it seems like the offense probably will be able to move the ball better. But as far as the long-term hopes for the franchise, and even if they were to luck into a playoff game, they may suffer the same fate as Cleveland, a first-round loss. But that's, I mean, what do we do here? We haven't seen the last of Richardson by any stretch this season, but it's Flacco tonight. What are your thoughts kind of on this here?
Well, my first thoughts are we're definitely not playing Antonio Pierce because
oh god,
we would never want to do that ever.
He's a linebacker. He's kind of slow. He's kind of old. He's about my age now.
Alex Pierce. Okay. Yeah, sure. No, I'm just
the sun sucked the brains right out of my head today.
The Seahawks are in the red zone again, so we'll see how Geno can mess this one up. But I move on. I digress. Yeah, it's hard not to like Minnesota in this spot. I mean, even with Flacco, like if Flacco gets time, he can be a really good option and he can dice any defense. But Minnesota's a really good defense, and he's a statue back there. So as far as like the game goes, I think Minnesota wins. I don't think that's like a hot take or anything. Wow, Seattle scored. I don't know how, but they scored. Yeah, I mean, I think Minnesota wins this game, but I would expect it to be, the spread's like 5.5, 6. I think that makes all the sense in the world to me. I have no strong take on a side either way. Do you have a strong opinion on like the side of this game?
So I went with Minnesota. Hard Rock gave me a booster if I took Minnesota to win and Darnold to throw 2 touchdown passes. So I jumped on that. Darnold to throw 2 touchdown passes. That was I think they gave it to me at like plus 160 or something. So we'll talk about Darnold, but that's the Colts can definitely be exploited both on the ground and through the air. So I do like Darnold to kind of get back on track. He's just been getting by with absurd efficiency though. But we'll talk about that in due time here. When we look at the other options here for the receivers, you've got Michael Pittman Jr. You have obviously Josh Downs and Pierce. How do you want to rank those guys, including their salaries on DraftKings?
The Colts wide receivers, you're telling me? I think that with their salaries, obviously including their salaries, it's weird seeing Downs more expensive than Pittman. So I'm going to say I like Pittman more, even though I'm getting more exposure to Downs right now. I love Pittman with Flacco. I hate Pittman with Richardson. Love him with Flacco. So that's how I see it. I like Downs also. I think Flacco is going to spread the rock like he always does. I do think that this could be like a high volume target Pittman game though. How about you?
So I went back and forth, and I leaned on the Stokastic projections. So this is what I pulled them earlier this morning when I wrote the article. But it was 8.6 targets to Down, 7.9 to Pittman, 4.3 to Adonai Mitchell, and then 3.4 to Pierce. So it trails off pretty good here. It seems like I think it'll be closer between Downs and Pittman, and I think Pittman could be more of the hot route read here, or just the quick the quick pass guy in the face of this blitz. Right now, Downs is capable of doing that too, and they're both going to work intermediate routes. But Downs, at this point, Downs is kind of the more complete receiver here. So I ended up with Downs.
You think Downs is the more complete receiver?
Yeah, I ended up with him in my cash game lineups. So that was, and I think he is in line to be in the multiplier slot across the main DFS sites as well.
That's fair.
The tight ends. Four tight ends are seeing massive time. So each of the last 5 games, the Colts have played 4 tight ends. Mo Alley-Cox, 46% of the snaps. Ogletree, 34. Kylan Granson, 27. And Will Mallory, 16%. They're all on the field for a variety of plays. They've all gotten targets. However, Cox does have 7 targets in the 3 games with Flacco. Ogletree has 4. Granson and Mallory have 3 each. So it's kind of interesting to see that the Colts, and they've done this for years, they just run, regardless of who's the coach and the strategy, and they just always seem to have a passel of tight ends. Remember when it was Jack Doyle or whatever, and even Granson was, or Mo Alley-Cox was around in those days. I'm forgetting somebody else. They just have multiple tight ends, and none of them are great. They're not bad. They're just a whole bunch of tight end 2.5s, right? They're not quite tight end 2s. They're not tight end 1s, but they're there, and that makes things interesting. And it's not National Tight End Day, so we have.
No, it is not. Not anymore.
Have to work that in. So you like Eitan's a sprinkle of the tight ends. I don't know which one I feel great about, but Ogletree and Mallory are at rock bottom prices on DraftKings. But you're expecting like a target, maybe 2 tonight. So that kind of makes it interesting. But you know who is kind of not getting targets either? That is Taylor. So Jonathan Taylor, he missed 3 games with a high ankle sprain. He came back last week. It was his first game back, played 81% of the snaps, had 20 carries for 105 yards and a touchdown. He has 5 touchdowns on the season. He has 3 different 100-yard games, but he just doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Now he missed some of the games with Flacco, but he just isn't involved in the passing game. He's an adequate pass catcher. I mean, nothing special, but you would think that Flacco would want to get him the ball more because he's one of the more dynamic playmakers, right? And you could see some screen passes, et cetera, tonight. So I don't want to completely dismiss him, but I'd be shocked if he got more than, I think we were projecting him for like 3.5 or 4 targets. So not a lot. And that's kind of that borderline elite mark that you look for that bell cow role. We'll have to see if that happens, right? And there's not a lot we can really draw on from the Colts because these guys haven't played a lot together yet because of the timing of the injuries. So the thing we do know, though, is Tyler Goodson does not seem to be able to pass Trey Sermon in the pecking order here. I would be shocked if Goodson gets more than maybe 8 to 10 plays tonight, barring injury to somebody or blowout run. And it looks like Trey Sermon is kind of the backup, but he's only going to get 3 or 4 touches, probably half a dozen kind of as his ceiling. So things are kind of consolidated here. But crazy things happen on any given game here in the NFL. Any final thoughts across the last of the Colts offensive?
No, I think you kind of said it best. Like the tight ends is just such a crapshoot. I'm rerunning my Sims a little bit. I wanted to bump Pittman. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's the 2 wide receivers, Adonai Mitchell, Alex Pierce after them. And then it's murky waters after that. Like, obviously, Jonathan Taylor, depending on the game script, always in play. And the more I think about this game, the more I think the Colts are going to be competitive. Flacco's, good. Mm-hmm. It's weird to say, especially because,
for all the shit he took throughout his career. I mean, aside from the Super Bowl and the MVP.
This is the best he's ever played outside of that playoff run with Baltimore. And that's crazy. He's 43 years old. He's 41. I don't even know, but he's older than me, and it's nuts. Yeah, I think that Indy won't win this game, but they're live to be in it for sure. And Taylor in that type of game script looks good.
All right. Nathan Perkins teeing us up here. He says, "Who are your favorite captains tonight?" So it was kind of a coin flip for me between Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones. And it kind of comes down to, how do you think Minnesota is going to attack this game? And for all the good scores they've done, the touchdowns, etc., that Aaron Darnold. Oh, now I'm going to do it. Jesus Christ, Aaron Darnold. Aaron Darnold is not walking through these doors.
I love when you do that. Not gonna lie.
God, it's because I'm doing too many things at once here. I used to laugh at my dad when he would do that. Now I get it. Now I get it. You too. One day, Matt, this will become you. This is just how
I know.
Sam Darnold, on a kind of the opposite career path here of Flacco, but he's kind of morphed into a Flacco-like, much maligned quarterback. He's floated around a bunch, but here he is finally getting a chance in a good spot. But the volume just isn't there. He's only averaging 27 pass attempts per game. Only once have they thrown more than 30 times, and that was 31 times. So it's a little bit scary. Yet here I am making the wager that he's going to get multiple touchdowns tonight. He's been very, very effective. So the question is, how do you think that the game is going to go here? So the Colts don't have much of a pass rush. So that gives time for Jefferson to get his plays to develop downfield. So we like him. He has, again, another stat per Kevin Sievert at ESPN this time. I can't remember who was the one for on the other one, but Jefferson has, through 7 games, no other receiver has had as large a target share as he has from Darnold. And it's like 34% or something crazy like that. He has 60 targets, but there's no volume. So he's getting his, and then really nobody else's, because there's just not that many pass attempts. So we like all that for Jefferson. We're paying for it, definitely. Then you got Aaron Jones going against a team that allows the 3rd most rushing yards in the league, 152 per game, is the Colts. 5 different running backs have gone for 90 rushing yards. 5 more running backs have had at least 60 combined yards. So that means 10 running backs that they faced this season had either 90 rushing yards or 60 combined yards. That bodes well for Aaron Jones. Ultimately, I've landed on Aaron Jones, and this terrifies me because it feels like every time I trust him, or I'd like to trust him, he rugs me. And that's no way to do analysis, but it's that sinking feeling of, here we go again. But he is the captain of my cash game lineup.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a really good spot here. Indy's D is not good, and he's been productive this year, and he's got a bunch of weapons. Obviously, Jefferson being the best, but Jefferson's uber expensive, so I get that. Like, obviously, all things being equal, I'd want to captain Jefferson on basically any slate he's on, but they're not. He's the most expensive player on the slate. Darnold projects for a similar amount of fantasy points, so that makes a ton of sense to me.
Yeah. So sort of to circle back to Nathan's question here, for me, it's actually ending up Aaron Jones and he's get that coveted bell cow work. Here it is, right? At some point, he's going to disintegrate in front of our eyes, but maybe that won't be tonight. He is looking like the number 1. Number 2 is Jefferson. 3, I already mentioned, I like Josh Downs. I think he's kind of a core play. And then you can make arguments after that for the quarterbacks. You could, does Taylor get Jonathan Taylor, does he get a multiple touchdown game here and 100 yards? And he's the guy. A little bit harder to see that happening, but you can kind of make arguments pretty quickly here. Then things really fall off the shelf for these players here. How many names am I going to mispronounce? Now I'm in my own head. This is just asinine.
I don't even know at this point. I just let it roll off. However you pronounce it. However you pronounce it is how it should be pronounced. Is my
this is why you're my favorite. So it's just
shows yours is better. When we're having fun.
It is. But now
tomato. Aaron Donald, Sam Darnold.
Is it a praline? Is it a praline? I mean, what are we doing here? It's just, it rhymes with orange.
Oh, God. Now I'm trying to think of his name, but it's not Wayne.
Wanye Cabrera?
No, Darius Garland's dad.
Winston!
I knew that would get you.
Like Winston Wolf. Come on.
Yeah.
Come
So
on.
proper.
All right. Here we go. So the other thing that has happened with the Minnesota backfield is it's all Aaron Jones. To the point that Ty Chandler didn't even get a touch in the last game. That was Thursday Night Football. I played him in my cash game lineup. For those of you who want to come after the old EMac dollars, it's there in the DK lobby. Username EMac, $1 head-to-heads are still sitting there. Still got some out there. Come steal my money. 80 cents, 90 cents at a time. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. So Aaron Jones is interesting, but there's been really nothing after him. We know CJ Ham has had touches in 2 games. Week 1, he had, if I remember correctly, he had his two targets, and then I think it was week 3 he had his 2 carries. That's it. So he's not really even a viable punt option. And then Cam Akers back with the team. So Myles Gaskin has been released, but Akers has not appeared. It hasn't gotten any touches anyway. So it's just kind of like, all right, I guess this is the Aaron Jones show until something happens, and then maybe we get the Chandler coming back into this. But we have a big surprise in the passing game, TJ Hockenson. TJ Hockenson shredded his knee week 15 last year, but he's coming back tonight. How much do you think he plays?
I don't know. It's a good question. I was about to throw that right back to you. How much do you think he plays here?
So conventional wisdom says probably 50 to 60% of the snaps, mostly passing downs would be my guess, or high probability passing situations, because they're going to want him out there on the field. I don't think they're going to rush him back, right? Because they're going to need him for a stretch run in the playoffs. Jordan Addison is like there's so little volume in this. It's like Aaron Jones has like 25 targets. Addison has 20. Who was there? Who's their tight end? Becht, whatever. He has 20. I mean, it's perfect spot for Hockenson to walk into this.
Yeah, it is.
Right. I mean, you want to be there early. I mean, all signs say that he's going to be out there on passing downs, right? We know that, which means probably half the plays, if not a little bit more. And then it's going to come down to game situation and how he feels after a year off.
He's good too. Now he has no experience with Darnold, but I don't even know if that matters. He's 6,600. Yeah. Maybe, it kind of just makes me like everyone aside from Jefferson and Aaron Jones a little bit less, but it's a showdown slate and they're in a really good spot. So yeah, I like Hockenson here. He's projected for like 10.5 fantasy points. I think that makes sense. I certainly think his ceiling is higher. I mean, he's good. He could catch 2 touchdowns any game he plays. I think that if he doesn't score though, he's not going to play a ton. So, 5 catches, 50 yards, to 7 catches, 70 yards. I think somewhere in that range makes sense.
Yeah, it's and Johnny Munt is the guy. So playing time, the Vikings actually use a decent amount of 2 tight ends, and even though Munt has 20 targets and I think Oliver had like 5 or 6, they both play about the same number of snaps. So I'm expecting they're going to go down to 30 to 40% of the snaps, and then that gets Hockenson to about 50%, and then that gets him to the 1 out of every 4 plays is a 2 tight end set with what they're doing here, and that just feels to me like that's probably how it's going to work out. The other guys, it's hard to trust them, but $1,200 on DraftKings is. You can pay that off with 2 catches for 25 yards, or at least be kind of neutral. So I think that is kind of a consideration there. How is your Millie Maker team doing? We've got Seattle 4th and 1. Looks like they're going to kick a field goal here from them.
I hope they don't kick the field goal, but
15
it was doing very well before the overtime. I saw Smith and Njigba caught one. Wasn't winning, but I'm live and. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Smith and Jigba has 7 for 180 and 2.
Yeah, I have him in this game. I have him, Lockett, Geno, and I have Kupp on the other side. So Even if they kick the field goal of Cup, I need Cup to get some. So we'll see what happens. I'm not even checking until the game's over because
All right, that's fair.
What's the
that's
point,
fair.
you know?
So we've got the Stokastic Hall of Fame. I want to remind everybody because we saw last week live on air. I'm going to put the link here in chat. Live on air, we found out that a Stokastic avatar took $1 million on the Sunday main slate. We had who was it? Red Skittles got 4th overall, and he messaged us in chat. So shout out there to Red Skittles as well. But if you finish top 3 in any contest with at least 5,000 players in it, you can, and you screenshot your avatar, send that to Stokastic HOF on Twitter, you will get 30 days of Stokastic Premium. You get to choose the package, and now you can win. Jordan was telling me you can win 3 times, I think, per year, at least 2, if not 3. So we've expanded that, and that's a lot of fun. You get, rep the avatar. That's all you got to do. And as Laffy says, would you rather have a little picture of your dog there, or your kid, or your muscle car, or whatever it is? No, just put the Stokastic avatar in there. That could get you some money, or some credits anyway, as opposed to that. But that is one of the ways we were giving back. Plus, now we have the Stokastic Ring of Honor. Anyone that has $20,000 or more, you're going to get a custom designed ring. Looks like a championship ring. It will be in a little display case that rotates. They're pretty cool. All right, so we've meandered a little bit, but tightening things back up for the Minnesota side. Just again, the volume for the passing game, 27 attempts per game. This is like playing in the in the 90s and the early 2000s. It's just that's like it's very, very different than the other teams that are getting 40 passing attempts per game. So that kills PPR. It makes it really hard to know somebody's going to pop up out of nowhere, because it's right now it's just Justin Jefferson getting the vast majority of the targets. I think Jordan Addison still in play. Naylor kind of falls out of the mix here. Johnny Munt is going to be surpassed by Hockenson, and then you have Aaron Jones, who's a capable pass catcher as well. So the tertiary plays here are like invisible, which is crazy to see, and that's for both teams. So it's kind of an interesting way these offenses have consolidated. One running back each, 2 receivers basically for Indy, 1 for Minnesota, and then defenses that love to blitz, 1 effectively, 1 not very effectively. So it's sort of like mirror images of each other here on that. Kickers. So I think this is a good day for kickers. So let me get to the analysis here, because this is always fun. So rookie Will Reichard has made all 14 of his field goal attempts, all 20 of his extra point attempts, and he's made and he has 4 from beyond 50. So he was a 6th round guy. He was on Alabama last year. So he's been pretty phenomenal. Gets kicked, in the dome, obviously. On the other side, you have Matt Gay, and Matt Gay has played for a bunch of teams throughout his career, but he is amazing from 45 yards and in. 50 and longer, he probably shouldn't take those. 9 of 16 over his last 65 games. But he has made 94% of his kicks from less than 50 yards in those 65 games, which is just wild. That's an impressive number. So I think he's pretty interesting. He's good at extra points too. Now remember,
the Rams just scored a touchdown. I don't know who though. Tell me it was.
What happened to the field goal? There was supposed to be a field goal. God damn it!
The Seahawks missed their field goal, or they went for it and didn't get it.
I'm now closing out that, but I don't even care.
Please tell me it was Cooper Kupp.
Oh, I closed it out. Let's quickly. I can't believe that they lost. They went into overtime. No, it was Demarcus Robinson with his second.
God damn it, that probably really hurts me.
I just can't. Seahawks. You're killing me here. But you know what's not killing us? 20 minutes till lock. We've meandered through the teams. Talked about the kickers. We mentioned the defense. Vikings want to blitz a lot. moderate success, but they're going to be coming almost half the time. And then the Colts are kind of in that bend don't break mode. They just hemorrhage rushing yards at the tune of 150 per game. So that makes it a little bit rough. Okay, so we've gotten through this stuff. We hit on what the captains really should be. We should probably start looking at the Sims here, because that is going to help us. I saw somebody early in chat says, we don't know what we're talking about because, we're just pushing buttons on our computers. But guess what? That's what this game has turned into. That's kind of what life has turned into, right? AI and all the, until Skynet takes over, we're going to be harnessing the power for our own purposes for these computers and this machine learning stuff. But at some point, we're going to be working for them. So while we still have that ability, we highly, highly suggest that you use promo code MILL, M-I-L-L. That gets you 30% off any Stokastic NFL package. You want to sign up for a week, you want to sign up for a month, you want to sign up for a year. Get 30% off. Promo code MILL, M-I-L-L. That is in honor of Rick12324 winning the $1 million last week. So did you get Safari squared away? Are you prepping here? Are you in the lab? Are you crafting?
I am in the lab right now. Give me 1 minute.
All right, so I'm going to kick mine off as well. I'll tell you guys where's my cash game lineup, because I've been so bad. This is almost a don't do what I do situation. I got my ass kicked again last night, or on Thursday night in our cash games. So I'm going with Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, Josh Downs, Will Reichert, Matt Gay, and then one other player. Can't give you a full lineup. You don't want my full lineup. I'm not good at this, but if you guys want to come take my money, username EMac in the DK lobby. Just EMac. Been around long enough that I can have my name because I was here first.
I came in second, tied for second.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you, no.
How much?
5-5-5-1.
Is that like 5 figures?
5 figures, yes. There's just 5 figures, yes.
Okay. Well, congrats.
So, thank you.
Congrats. Was there 5,000 people in that tournament?
There was. 5,000 exactly. I played 7 lineups. And
do you have the Stokastic logo? Because if you send that to Stokastic HOF, see what I did? You send that to Stokastic HOF, we're going to get you some free access to the tools that you already have access to. But hey, it works for the bits. Well, congratulations. That's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. All righty. So
6 figures. Sorry.
Oh, 6.
Yeah, sorry. My math skills are off right now.
Well, it's because I can't say names. You can't count just stacks and stacks of cash. You're like
I'm getting
holding up all the money as a phone next to it.
I sent out a tweet right before the slate started. It'd be a good day to win a Millie Maker today, and damn, that would have been, if I could have said that into existence, that would have been amazing.
Yes. Well, nonetheless, damn, it feels good to be a gangster. So congratulations there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a good hit. That is a good hit. I do not play in that rarefied air. So there we are. All right, simulating the old lineups here. So I want to make sure I am above on the kickers. That is a goal of mine. I want to make sure that I am leaning on Josh Downs, both in the flex spot and the captain spot. And then for me, it's going to be, I want to push Aaron Jones into more of this captain spot. That's going to be kind of a rare situation for me. I'm rolling with him tonight. Let's see what happens when we get to these here. While I've got those running, I have one other thing I want to tell you guys. We told you how you can save 30% on any Stokastic NFL package. That goes away on Tuesday. So promo code MILL, M-I-L-L. We talked about Stokastic Hall of Fames a couple times. And then we also have a fun little promo here where you can get 30 days of all access, all everything. If you go into the YouTube description below us here, there's the first click, and we've got producer Jacob has put this up on the screen. But you guys, if you sign up for any of these sites that you haven't already signed up with, you need to go read the rules. Most of them you just got to play a $5 bet, or for the DFS ones you need to, in the pick'em sites, you need to read what those rules are. But if you follow those, you can stack. So like if you haven't signed up for 3 or 4 of these, you can stack them. Sign up for them. We're going to give you 4 months or 3 months or however many you're signing up for under this new promotion. We are going to give you that many months of Stokastic all access. Best deal we've done by far. This is going to last forever. But I bet if you guys look at some of those names up there, you may not have heard of some of these. So that would be a site you could go sign up for if it's available in your location. All right. Let's make 100 lineups here, Matt. Just taking it with factory settings. It looks like I have a significant number of Sam Darnold, a significant number of Matt Gay, and Will Reichert. I am liking the way this goes. I am slightly above the field on Aaron Jones. I have 25%. The field is at 20 in the captain spot. Justin Jefferson, I'm about equal with the field. Josh Downs, I'm 5% higher. And then Sam Darnold, I'm gonna back off Sam Darnold just a tiny bit because I already have my exposure for him getting 2 touchdowns in that other bet. So I'd like to not have him in quite as many captain lineups as 12%. Fields at 10. So I'm going to knock him down 10% in the ROI. That'll probably come close to mirroring the field. I'm going to give a little kicker there to TJ Hockenson. I've got him on 7%. Like to get that up closer to 10. That's the way I'm going to be playing this. Probably need a multi-touchdown game, but I don't think that gamers are giving him enough of his due and proper at this point. And then let's look down. 36% of the Colts defense. That feels a lot. I'm going to take a little bit off the top there. I'm going to push Justin Jefferson's chips in for him in the flex. And then I'm running a little light on Flacco, a little light on Pittman. I'm going to bail somewhat. I'm exactly with the field on Jordan Addison. That feels good. That feels good. I'm going to hit my boost ROI. I'm going to unfavorite. I'm going to refavorite. And then I've got my exposures here. So one last quick look here before I just upload these. I'm now up to 28% captain for Aaron Jones. I'm comfortable with that. Josh Downs, I am at 20. And Justin Jefferson, I'm at 13. So I came down a little bit there, but I've got more of him in the flex. So I'm good with that. I've been playing around with a variety of things early on so I could do this more quickly. So then I can turn around and answer questions for the remaining portion of the show to talk with you all. So let's go take a peek here and see what's up. Matt is going and he's going to count his money real quick right now. So you guys get me. So I am going to upload these, and I got a lot of defense. Oof. How much defense are you getting on this, Matt?
First off, I'm getting an obscene amount of Michael Pittman captain because I bumped his projection. I like him a lot tonight. I think he's under-projected and under-owned with Flacco under center. I know that he hasn't been amazing this year, but I still think he's like their number one guy. So I get it, what you're saying with Downs. That's just not how I see it. Maybe I'm too slow to buy in. As far as the defenses go, I'm getting to a lot of the Vikings, 30%, and I'm getting actually a lot of both. 28% Indy, 30% Minnesota. Looks like Indy's slightly higher owned because of the price difference.
It's the price.
I much prefer Minnesota. I mean, I know like similar quarterbacks in that they can both throw picks, but Minnesota's just got a much better team around Darnold. Minnesota's got a much better defense. Flacco can certainly throw interceptions. Even in Cleveland last year when he was amazing, he was throwing picks. He was just throwing a lot of touchdowns also. So on a slate like this, all it takes is one. I like both of them because I do get why Indy's gaining steam because of their price. But if forced to choose, I like Minnesota more. I'm glad I'm getting to slightly more Minnesota. Kind of wish I wasn't getting to as much Indy, but it is what it is at this point.
Where did you end up on Jordan Addison? He ended up in my cash game lineup, but I do not.
I am lower on Addison in the field. I have 14% Addison. He's coming in at like 23%. Hockenson, I'm at 20%, like right at the field. I'm under on Addison. I'm under on Adonai Mitchell. I'm a little bit over on Reichert, but I see him popping like in a lot of different places. So I'm not going to be surprised if his ownership is higher than we're projecting.
Yeah, I mean, how do you argue with perfection, right? I mean, he is perfect on the season. Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, it looks like all the team free money lineups got scooped up there. So best of luck to all of you. But if you guys are playing me, you're not going to need it. I am handing out the cash. It has been one of those seasons. So enjoy taking money from me. Perhaps Matt will get in on the fun at some point. But in the meantime, he is counting his ducats off a 6-figure day. Congratulations! That is quite the achievement here.
So, thank you very much.
Let's unfavorite.
Man, I was close to my first milli win, but close but no cigar, I guess, as the saying goes.
Oh, was this in the one of the larger buy-in milli maker?
Yeah, it was in the 555 milli maker, which had 5,000 people.
Oh,
yeah, I played 7 lineups in it.
Do you know?
Did we not just go over this?
No, I didn't realize it was the millionaire. I thought it was like the.
No, it was the milli maker.
Yeah. I hadn't realized that.
Yeah, I will say the only thing that is decent is that the guy in front of me won by 12 points. So like I really would have needed one of the Seattle TDs, I guess. I don't even know who he had. I'm not going to look. Can't believe I tied with someone. Let's see if they had the exact same lineup with me. They did, which is pretty.
Holy cow.
Chalky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is one lineup I played pretty chalky, not going to lie. Like sometimes in NFL, ownership never gets too crazy. I'll read you the lineup right now. I mean, we've talked about this a lot. Geno at quarterback, Chase Brown and Eckler as the 2 running backs, Kupp, Smith-Njigba, and Lockett, Gesicki, Kamara, and then the Cardinals D. And I was toying with this from 345 to 4, going with a Bears stack instead of this Seattle stack because I liked the Bears in that spot and they were going to come in much lower owned. But I knew that if the Seattle nutted and I'd gotten off them, I would just kill myself because my lineup was pretty good going into that with Kamara, Gesicki, and Brown. I know they're all popular, but they were all very good. And I mean, even if they're all individually, Brown was 50, Kamara's 25, and Gesicki's 30. Like, if you have all 3 of them and no bad spots in your lineup yet, at least you're sitting in a decent spot. So I didn't feel the need to change it.
All right, Dame Dollar is angry. He's jealous of you, but that's all right. That's all right. Maybe one day, Dame Dollar, it'll be Dame time, and you will get the 6-figure win. All right, what do we got here for questions? I got everything uploaded. I just put in 10 more team free money lineups there in the DK lobby. Username EMac because, of course, you guys need to take my money. I need to just keep giving it out. They say you should act like you've been there before. Matt has multiple 6-figure wins. This is nothing new.
Wait, what am I doing that's making it seem like I've never been there?
I mean, he doesn't think anybody cares that you like crushed it today.
Should I not have read? I thought people would be interested in the lineup just because I tied with someone. I'm not bragging about that at all.
Yeah.
That sucks that I tied with someone, and certainly I'm not. I was, semi-tilting because I thought I had a shot at the milli, but once I realized I didn't, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'm acting any sort of way at all, but sorry if I am.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Haters gotta hate. It just is the way it goes. I will drop this link into chat. So those of you that wanted to make sure you get all of the interest, there's my 3-hour article that I wrote today, about 2,000 words on the game. I rank every single viable player and a few that aren't. Break down everything by position, got all the good stats in there for you. So there you go. You want all the analysis, it's right there. Oh, we have another victory. Dame Dollar says that this is the worst show ever. I just want to thank all the little people that I stepped on to get me here. This is great. This is so
I don't get why someone would be watching a free YouTube video at 8:15 on Sunday night and just hating. Like, I just don't get it. But to each his own, I guess. I mean, I guess they say if you got haters, you're doing something right. So
I know,
appreciate you, Dame Dalla.
We could be talking about your prowess at the League of Legends.
I wish. The League of Legends finals just happened on Saturday, so there's no more LOL for a couple months. I think I'll have to check it out. But man, what a finals it was! It was intense. So I don't know how to play the game still, but man, I follow it and I love it.
Oh, good times here. Good times here. All right. So key things to remember. The interesting leverage play at captain looks like it's going to be TJ Hockenson. No surprise there. Gamers aren't quite ready to go there. You're going to need a multi-touchdown game, most likely from whomever is the captain, in order to then best everybody else. But that is kind of an interesting one there. The popular chalk donkeys, like what I'm going to be playing, is going to be the Justin Jeffersons, the Aaron Jones of the world. So if you're only playing a couple lineups and you're going that route, you want to go down in field size here, or because otherwise you're just going to be in the dupe train, and you don't want to be in the dupe train on these incredibly top-heavy lineups, because making a couple $1,000, while it is cool, if you are still playing 50 plus lineups and putting a lot of money at risk there, you have a hard time even really breaking even and realizing that. So that's why we have the Sims. That's why we talk about all the different things. It's very eye-opening, showing us the different ways that lineups can be constructed. It has broken the
my lineup was from the Sims that I made today.
So you just push the button, you enter it.
It wasn't a lineup that the Sims gave me. It was like kind of a combination of all the top plays from the Sims that I constructed on my own.
All right, Matt truly can't wait till he's going to run down. There's going to be things smoked tonight.
I mean, that would be happening if I lost, if I won a little bit.
Well, I didn't necessarily say you were going to be the smoker, right? I'm just saying the things, victory here, victory. Right, celebration.
I don't drink, so yeah.
This is the John Elway victory, right? You can't see what I'm saying. Tell your wife about John Elway's Super Bowl story. Have some fun. Have some fun. I love weed says I love green and money. Okay. That is on brand. Nate says facts light up, gang. Let's see. Oh, and now my YouTube just crashed. I think everybody was hating so badly on the hater that it just knocked out my check. It's now gone. It said you do not have enough memory to display this page. That was weird. Okay, well, that could be a sign. We are 90 seconds out. I got 90 minutes. Not great. That would be crazy. Ooh, interesting. There's a whole chat summary. It's talking about, do you want to report some people? That's an interesting screen I got on here. So relax, everybody. No need to hate. It's good. We're just having some fun. We have a big NBA day tomorrow. It's the staggered starts. They did this last year, but we've got NBA going on every 15 minutes from 7 until 10:30. Yep, I'm just checking. Every team plays, and then Tuesday everybody is off. Personal service note here: go vote. Election day is Tuesday. You need to vote. If you didn't do early voting or mail in already, that is going to be very important. Make sure that your voice is heard, regardless of who you are voting for. That is one of the tenets of our entire society here and what our country was founded on. So please go vote. Please. That's my public service announcement. EMac 2024, and we are basically at lock. So good times, Matt.
Go Michael Pittman.
You need to go celebrate, good sir. I am going to have a little bit of dinner. My dog's coming over here because she knows somehow she can sense the show's over, and she's going to make me.
You know what I can do now, honestly? My daughter is off school tomorrow and Tuesday. My wife has to work. But now I'm just going to pay my wife to not go to work so I can enjoy the day and not have to watch the daughter. We'll see how it goes.
I like this. This is the gift that keeps on getting. This is the buying yourself a present when you have a big win. I like this. This is unique. This is something DraftKings couldn't get for you.
DraftKings, in those things money can't buy. This is one of those.
Good times. Good times. All right. With that, we're going to get on out of here. You guys can follow Matt on Twitter at Fantasy Tips Matt. You can find me at EMac DFS. Thank you to producer Jacob. Check us out on Twitter at Stokastic_COM. With that, gamers, good luck.